All right, we are recording. Welcome everyone to our Team Empower Zoom call. Super excited to have you here. It's Erin Postal here for those who don't know me, and Wendy is actually not visiting, she's on another team call. The girl that we had on last week who gave us her brilliance with the Evernote. Wendy's on with her right now, just learning from her. So she's going to come back and share with us next week. So let's hear a couple of team victories, and then we're going to get into a really amazing call. So I am going to just shout out to Tina McIntyre. Jump out, Tina, and share with us what's going on in your world.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I hit my first 5-cycle bonus, so I was really excited. Yay!
So that's awesome. Explain to people what that means if they're new.
113, Dr. Mitchell, 113.
Oh, muting that line. Someone's at work. We caught you.
Dr. Mitchell. What that means, reaching 5 cycles within a Sunday to Monday period in your business. So reaching 300 points 5 times.
Hey.
In your personal.
Well, 900 points, right?
So 300 over and over. Yeah.
So 900 business volume going through your tree will give you a $60 Canadian cycle. And so you cycled 5 times. So 6 times that's $300. And when you did that, because you did it from Monday to Sunday, your bonus was how much?
250 for the 5-cycle bonus.
Isn't that
on top of the 300 for the cycles.
So that's a pretty good week, hey? Not too bad.
Week. Yeah.
Not too shabby. I love it. Way to go. Awesome job, girl. And you didn't think you were going to do it necessarily, or what?
It was tight. It was tight there for a bit. But I had some really unexpected orders come in, so it was meant to be last week. I was really happy.
Awesome. Way to go. Who else?
Seasonal shakes have helped a lot.
Yeah.
People are loving them. Yeah.
Awesome. Who else? And that reminds me, I got to do my draw. Who else has a victory?
I want to give a shout out to Wendy Dawes for going 1-star Golden Circle.
Woohoo!
She's just crushing it week after week. And I created 2 managers, dug down, and they were close. Bridget Bouchard actually went, she got her 5-cycle bonus. Cynthia Martin and her team got her 5-cycle bonus. So it was a great week.
Amazing. I love it. And let's shout out to Mary, who went 4-star Golden Circle, which is 60 cycles, right? And so Mary was at ICU. She was away, but it all happened. And I'm super proud of Mary and what you've done. It's amazing. And how does it feel to reach this big milestone in your business?
I don't know if it's sunk in. I'm still doing still doing the same thing. But it actually feels really good to kind of break that wall down, kick those bricks down, and bust through another level. And I think it's great motivation for my team.
It's great. I rank advanced myself this week, which was a big win. And I was in lockdown, guys. I mean, I couldn't leave these meetings, and we left meetings and we went to dinners. I was at these meetings for the Canadian Field Advisory Board, and then Thursday, Friday, I didn't even know if it was going to happen. It just sort of organically happened, which is really fun. And then I was like, okay, well, and I was flying home, and so I was doing what I could, but I mean, I was also chilling out a bit, and I did what I could. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to rank advanced. I said this to Susan, like, I'm good with recognition. She goes, do it for the country and do it for your team. And I was like, okay, then I'll do it for them. So, and you know what? It all happened, and it was a lot of fun. And I feel like I get it. I feel like I've learned so much in the last 2 months that I'm like, oh my gosh, I know exactly where we need to go, what needs to happen. And guess what? Here's the best news of all. It's way easier than I think we've made it. That's the best news of all. So it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a total bag drive. When you're doing it right, it does unfold. And I will tell you one thing. A year ago, I sat at ICU, and I sat next to Tanya Kirkpatrick, rank advance in front of my eyes while sitting at ICU, and I thought, what is going on? Like, every time I've rank advanced, I'm almost half dead by the end of the week. And I thought, I don't know, she's doing something And guys, that's what happened this week. So now I know what we need to do to get you to all of your dreams, your visions, your life-changing income level. So I'm super excited to just bring this whole team to the next level. So, and
Mary,
yeah.
this is Diane.
Hi, Diane.
I just have to give a shout out that I got my first 11th cycle bonus.
Woohoo! Amazing.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. Mm. And what is the bonus for that? $1,000?
500.
$500. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. One star silver circle.
10 cycles. Way to go, girl. You've been so consistent. Congratulations. How does that feel?
Awesome.
Amazing.
Great
Amazing. Good for you guys. Fantastic. Well, we had a great week at ICU, and they changed up the whole entire format. It's really different, and it's very exciting. So that's my call to action to all of you guys is what is the next event that you're going to go to, right? So any more shout outs before we get into the content?
Erin, can I shout out?
Of course.
I want to give a shout out to you because
Who
last
is
night
this?
was it's Robin.
Oh, hey, Robin. Gee, you sound different today.
Oh, I've got my headset on. So I just want to say thank you for last night's call with Teresa, because not only did you paint the vision and get her to see her own vision last night, but it was an aha moment for me how I've let my own vision as we get into the next level. You get comfortable again and you forget about what your really big vision is and what you really want. And I got to see mine again last night. So thank you for that. And thank you for doing that with Teresa.
Awesome. Well, yeah, so I love to do those calls, and anyone just let me know. I think I'll have a calendar system though, because it's sometimes hard to connect with me to get those things going. So way to go, guys. Amazing. Well, let's talk about today's call. So we just, like I said, we're fresh back from the Isogenics University. If you haven't listened, I'll just say this one thing, to the ISA Warrior call that was with Emily and Hayden. It was just so brilliant, and they speak about the power of events, and we hear that and whatever. But let's really talk about what those big events do for you, and more importantly for your team. So I'm going to bring out Mary, our new 4-star, Lisa Berkman, her superstar, who's been so consistent. I mean, she's really mastered LinkedIn. She's really mastered enrolling. She's been doing the do nonstop. And then I want to bring out one of our newest teammates, powerful woman, Audrey, who is a master coach with Brooke Castile, the woman who changed my life in 2008 when I became a life coach. Wendy Proya took the coach training with Audrey and they became friends. And Audrey's very successful in her professional career. She has a passion for coaching. She's very good at it. And now she's looking at adding this as a residual income stream. And she's enrolled to Wendy's Proya. So I know that you're going to have massive success, Audrey. So we're going to hear from the three of you guys. What are some of your takeaways from ICU? Coming from an experienced person, one of our highest ranked people, to Lisa, who's right in the grind of it all, and then Audrey, who's kind of new. So Mary, why don't you jump out, or you and Lisa jump out and share?
Yep. Yeah, I wrote down my 3 takeaways. Obviously, there was lots. One thing that I really like about ICU is that it's more intimate. So you really get to rub elbows with those people like Tanya Kirkpatrick, Laura Stevens. It's you can you can get at them, you can get photos, you can ask them questions. That's one of the things I really like about ICU. I do love ICU Toronto. It's my first time going to ICU in Phoenix. And I think the Toronto one I love because I know more Canadian leaders there. But it was nice to connect with Wendy's team. And my 3 takeaways are Hayden Vavra get up, and it's really nice to see him come into his own, and he's doing an amazing job. He did great presenting. He was funny. He looked sharp, and one thing he said that stuck out to me was paint the big picture provides staying power. So often, like when you're asking people their goals, are you painting that vision? And when you paint that vision for them and they can really get emotional about it, have an emotional response, that provides staying power. And then you can often go back to them if they kind of waver, they fall off, which happens to everybody. You can go back to that conversation that you had and trigger those emotional responses again. So connecting the head with the heart. And I really like that. One of my other takeaways was from you, Erin. And you probably said this before, but it's like that's the power of events, is going and hearing it again and again and again. And maybe we get some of the same training, but if you hear it in a different environment or whatever. But you said when you sign people up, you give them a job. So right away, because they're waiting 3-4 days for their products, you give them a job to do. And it's, okay, send me your photos, front, back, side. I'll timestamp them, get you in the Ice and Body Challenge. That way they don't have buyer's remorse. Because 3-4 days, people can think about that money they spent thinking, oh my gosh, it's not going to work. They go back and forth. They get stuck in their head. But if you give them a job, a task to do in the meantime, then that really is, they're excited at that point for their products to arrive. So I really like that. And my third takeaway was Lynn Hagdor. And I love Lynn. She gets so excited on stage, and I love watching her. And she talked about being the light, so that other people could see that, like being the light and pouring that belief into others until their light turns on. And maybe it's not right away, maybe it's trickling a little bit, but it's like living that lifestyle, being consistent, not giving up, and just pouring belief into people. So every morning when you get up, ask yourself, what do I need to do today to get lit up? Like, what do I need to do that's going to fire me up this morning so that I can pour belief into my people, so I can turn on their lights and have them lit up, so they go to work and they want to spread this gift for everybody else. So those were my top 3 takeaways for sure.
Well, I will just add this, Mary, and I was saying this to you. The big change I've seen in you in the last 2 years is you've really grown as a human being, a woman, and a leader, is seeing you found a way to keep your light bright, right? I think all of us give so much to other people, whether we're in this business or not. Some of you would burn out even if you weren't in this business, or if you are in this business, you're burning out and you're blaming isogenics. But it could be you would do that anyways. You have found a way to stay in this business, grow and create momentum and not burn out. And that for you has been Reiki. And for me, it's walking in the forest and being with my dogs. For other people, it's fitness. Everybody has to find their way to keep their light shining brightly. And if you are not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be able to grow this business.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, like, I still have those moments, like everybody, like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm not doing the right things. I'm not helping my people enough. Like, we all have these stories in our heads. And I always go back to a moment in time for me where it was actually really tough. Like when I was teaching full time, and I didn't have Tristan at that point, but I was getting my 2 small kids off to school, one to daycare, and then going to work. Jason was in Kuwait, and I was coming home, and it was a 1-person show. And sometimes I was rushing out of work because I'd get a phone call and say, your kid got off the bus stop and the sitter wasn't there. Or those panic moments when I'm doing everything and completely burnt out, and at the end of the night, I would just go home and cry. So I always go back to that moment and think, this is not hard. This is not hard. We go to work to make it hard. This is actually the best thing, this is a blessing for me. And so I always go back to that moment in time when that's the other alternative. So I either go back teaching, or I continue to push through whatever I'm going through to get to the other side. And it's absolutely been worth it. And then another thing, to protect my energy, I started taking Reiki about 2 years ago. And I've done Reiki in the past just to go and for emotional healing and whatever. And then I thought, I'm pouring so much belief into other people, and I'm an empath, and that would drain me. That would literally drain me, and I would be exhausted by the end of the week. And sorry guys, I'm outside because it's the first time we've had sun in like weeks, so I'm soaking it up. But I would be exhausted. So I took Reiki as a way to protect my own energy so I could serve more people.
It shows. It absolutely shows. I mean, raise your hand if you can see that with Mary. It absolutely shows, because Mary would work so hard, and then she'd have to check out for a while to recharge, a couple months. Yeah. And then she'd come back in, and then she'd check out for another 3 or 4 months. But this business doesn't work that way. I mean, you've got to be able to maintain a certain pace if you have big goals. If you just want to get your products paid for, that's fine. But if you want to create a multiple 6-figure income or $1 million, you've got to be consistent. So I'm really glad that you found something that serves you. So thank you, Mary. It's awesome. All right, Lisa Berkman, let's hear from you. And it was so great to see you and spend time with you.
Sorry, I was on mute.
That's okay. Tell us a little bit about your takeaways from ICU.
I know we hear it all the time, but one of the biggest things is get your people to events. And like I said, we hear it all the time, but really watching ICU through Judy Compton's eyes. She's been in for a year. It was her very first event. And Mary and I were sitting there just watching this person just blossom and see the vision. And there's things that I had told her all year, but that third-party validation, seeing the community, culture, seeing what really can happen for her family, like it's the event.
I love that. Amazing.
But there is so many takeaways. One is treat everyone like an executive until they prove you wrong, from Laura Stevens. That, because I'm guilty of prejudging. Like I'll be the first to admit it. So this week I've been going back, scheduling appointments and asking people if they're ready to run, what it looks like, and going back to that associate interview to see really where they are. So,
and Lisa, this is a good week for you to start creating those executives and consultants, because it's free enrollment.
Yeah. So that was one. And Hayden, like Mary said, he was just phenomenal. Watching him really take the stage and shine, but reaching down and finding your gems. So not just worrying about your personally enrolled, but see who's enrolling, see who has some activity, and really go down. And one thing he said that stuck with me is go manager, create manager. So us who are trying to go executive again, or, you have to get back into status, I think that that's a huge tool. Go manager, create manager. Like that really stuck in my head. And Zach Slobin, he was phenomenal. One thing that he said that really resonated with me is there's nothing comfortable about being in your comfort zone, which is so true. Like we're afraid to come on and do these calls, or we're afraid to pick up the phone and call someone. Well, comfortable is not, not being able to pay your bills, or, you want to leave your job, but you're afraid to pick up the phone. So that was huge. And his Facebook Live piece, not having something to talk about. And he showed this little, 12-week series on what drives us. So we all have that little task that we can talk about on our Facebook Lives. And one thing he said that I think we all could resonate with was, he said that we had to speak for 10 minutes on Facebook Live. And everybody was like, ugh. But we want to be on stage. We want to be 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. We want to be on and painting our picture, but yet we're afraid to go on Facebook for 10 minutes to talk about what we're passionate about. I thought that was a really good piece.
So for those who don't know, Isogenics has our core values, the 12 core values. Just read a couple of them there, Lisa. And you can find them online or in most of the literature. And he gave a challenge to do a Facebook Live, one a day or one a week, to really share those values and what they mean to you. So give us an example of what.
Well, eat it, love it, share it. So, you don't have to go on and talk about, your isogenic shake and really, go on about that. But it could just be, what the shake has done for you. Still don't need to mention isogenics. You can just talk about what that means. Free to be me. So, what can you do in your everyday life that shows freedom? So for me, I could do a Facebook Live that, at noon, I can take my son to the park, or he's on a 2-week break and I get to be home and play with him. So I can do like a little Facebook Live on that. Integrity. So what integrity means to you. And these are all things that people need to hear right now because our world is falling apart. So if there's more people like us filling up the news feeds, that's what people need to hear. Give back, move forward. So what are you doing to give back to your community? So these all can be found online, or I can put the link in our group. So he's like a 12-week series. So just once a week, come on for 10 minutes and talk about what this means to you.
Mm-hmm. So it's just really getting out and getting in front of people, learning how to speak in front of people. And that brings me to, thank you, Lisa, our call to action for everyone on this call. If you're serious about building your business, if your commitment is there, I'm going to invite everyone to be on the Isogenics Zoom live tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. If anyone is working with me one-on-one, that's a requirement that I have, because you have to be a master at presenting Isogenics, or at least presenting the tools, but someone's going to ask you a question. So every week, if you're on there, imagine if you listened every Wednesday to that call, even if you're chopping vegetables, cooking dinner, going for a walk, driving your kids to sports, eating your dinner, it doesn't matter. If you listen to that every week, where do you think you'd be after 6 weeks? Do you think that you could speak in front of the room? Do you think your posture would be improved, your confidence, your belief in yourself? Of course it would. And let's imagine another layer. Let's imagine 10 of your teammates are on that call. Even if they're customers, if somebody is brand new and they just enrolled with me, I have brand new people that enrolled last week and they're on that call. I said, I want you to be on this call to learn more about the products and the opportunity that you have. They're not interested in the business. They just want to lose some weight. That's fine. I want you on there every Wednesday just to start listening. And it will build their belief. I'm going to let Tracy O'Malley paint the vision. Thank you very much. I think she's better at it than I am. So I'm going to let her do that tonight. Last week it was the IsoBody Challenge winner, right? So I'm going to let the tools do that. And if we were old school marketers in the 70s and 80s, guys, you'd be going to a hotel meeting once a week. So count your blessings that you could sit at home in your PJs and go to a meeting. All right, there's my soapbox. Lisa, thank you. Amazing.
Thanks.
And I want to invite Audrey to speak up as a new person. What were some of the takeaways? Tell us, what that was like for you.
Hi, Erin. Thank
Hi.
you. Can everyone hear me okay?
You bet.
Okay, great. So it's interesting, hearing from you all that have been around and know how people have changed and who everyone is. And I don't really know who anyone is except for Wendy. And of course, I know Erin through Brooke, our mentor, mentioning her, and and from Wendy. So one of my favorite things was meeting Wendy in person, because we had only met online and we had shared a lot of stuff with each other. And it was just so fabulous that she invited me into her house and I stayed with her, and she spent so much one-on-one time with me. And I mean, just her being so cordial to me. I mean, that was the first takeaway, was just how friendly Wendy is and how good of a friend she is. And then my second takeaway is when she invited me up to Erin's room and I got to meet everybody else, and you were all crunching numbers and you were all so positive and working on your businesses and focused. And I mean, I'm telling you right now, and Erin and I were talking about this, to be with top level people like this, people pay $10,000 for one day to hang around with people like this, to be with high-powered women who are focused and driven and care about you. And this opportunity is it's crazy. I'm around all these women, they're all positive thinkers, we're coaching each other. And I mean, I might buy them dinner or a drink or whatever, but I'm not giving them $10,000, So I'm just so impressed with the quality of people that I got to hang around with at ICU, and even some one-on-one coaching that Erin was able to help me with. So thank you for that. The last thing I want to, there's two other things. The other thing I want to say is to go to ICU and then to be able to really hear people's stories and thoughts, the people that are up on stage, that was really a driving factor to me, just to see that these people who I don't know are doing this, and that Erin is doing this, and these people are doing it in such a short amount of time. I've been in my field for a long time, and it's taken me a long time to build up a business, and people are building this business up based on the quality of this product, which I am taking and I believe in. So that was another thing. And then finally, what really hit me at the end was what Susan Sly was talking about toxic thoughts. And Erin, in our coaching model, we basically start with the thought, and And Susan, she had a lot of good things to say about how toxic thoughts are creating these results in our world that are what's creating these problems for us, because it's always the thought that creates the results. And so she talks about how through isogenics and through this model of sharing and the financial well-being that this model, the isogenics model can offer, can create change for people in the world. And I just thought that was really a great message. So there you go.
I love it. It was so good. We're so excited to have you on board, Audrey. And
thanks.
Maybe we can do some self-coaching with these guys. I think it would be really fun to do.
Okay.
That.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. And, we also had, I know Sue Duda and Karen Fagan, you guys were both at the event. If either one of you, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you want to jump out, anyone else, I know Evelyn was there. If Diane, anyone else wanted to jump out and share a takeaway from ICU, that'd be amazing. Just unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
We can, yeah.
Hey, it's Karen.
Nice and loud, though. We can't really hear you that well.
Wait a minute. Let me just hold on one. Can you hear me better right now?
A little bit, but speak loud.
Okay, wait, hold on 1 second. Okay, how's this?
That's better. Oh, echoing. All right, give it another go.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I really want to share 2 takeaways, and both really, really powerful. One was witnessing the top 25 income earners. And why that was so powerful is because number one, people are doing it. And if they can do it, we all can do it. Like, that's bottom line. And the number one ingredient that I really took away, it's all about belief. It's like 100% belief in yourself. And if there is an area, right, of your business that you're not satisfied with, you can connect it back to lack of belief.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just clear as day for me. Yeah, it's about skill, right? Skills needed, but it's really about your belief and how much you really want it.
Yeah.
And I think it's you can read everything, you can listen to everything, but until you make the decision you're going to believe in yourself no matter what, and that you really want it, right? That's where change will come from in your business.
Yeah, I agree, Karen. I mean, I spent 3 or 4 days hanging out with Jimmy Smith because I was on the Fab. We had 3 days of meetings, and I mean, I had breakfast with Hayden. I drove in a car with Lynn and Michael. I mean, I spent 4 days with these people, every meal, afternoons, evenings, downtime, traveling. I went to Jim and Kathy Coover's house. That's a whole other story. And the common denominator is posture. I brought my big brother to this event, right? And my brother's been watching me for 6 years, his little sister and her little fun little business, which now I make more money than him, and he's a wealth investor. I brought him, and as awkward as it was to share a hotel room with my big brother, it was worth it. We had separate beds, but I did forget one day and walk into when he was having a shower, which was really weird. But he met Jimmy Smith, and Jimmy goes, "Oh, your investment, okay, yeah." Jimmy goes, "I invested $500 15 years ago and I've made 57 million. How's your day going? How are your investments doing? Ha ha." And so he was all over Russ. And you'll see Russ, he's going to join us. He's said yes to the business. But there's a lot of people at the top of your tree that have some really good volume going through, and it's time to revisit them and say, "Hey, I think it's time you take a look at this." And so spending time with the top leaders, and our top 3 or 4 income earners right now in Isogenics have only been in for a couple of years. Things are changing. It just goes to show you. And I had met with someone this week. She's a lip sense girl. I said, "I'll buy your lip stuff, but you're going to take a look at my business because people aren't going to order lipstick every month for the rest of their life." And she said, "Well, Erin, I had to get in because it's at the beginning." And I said, "You know what? the person poised to be number one income earner in our team, and our whole company's only been in for like 3 years. Has nothing to do with being a new company. Has nothing to do with that. Has everything to do with posture, belief, and keeping it super simple. So Karen, and I know you got to spend some one-on-one time with Jimmy too and really understand the numbers, which was awesome. So
Yeah, so super awesome. And I just want to say one thing, right? It like in life, I mean, it's like, I know this to be true, and being at ICU just totally made my belief in this stronger. In life, it's really about how, like, our process can be either quick or slow, and we choose it, right? A process to have the result we want. There is no, like, it doesn't have to be slow. Like, we get to choose it by what we believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's about changing your belief, absolutely. So, and I can share more about what happened in myself personally that I think in my own internal belief that helped with my rank advancement to 7-star, because it was very deliberate, and I'll share with you after. But I want to hear, thank you, Karen, for that. I want to hear from Sue Duda. Sue, jump out. How are things for you? I'll unmute you, Sue, okay? Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I got so much out of this weekend. It was just amazing to just be there. I guess Lynn Hattagorn really, got me when she talked about being in your why and not worrying about the how and the what. Because I think I've been spending too much time worrying about how and what, and not so much my why. And then, to just get excited about my why, and, to really figure it out, and to, paint that vision of what it is that I want.
Yeah, because you see it all the time. People that have no skills enroll tons of people and grow really fast. They have 0 skills, but their belief is so strong, their energy and their why, and that's what takes them to the next level. So it's great. It was great to see you, Sue.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Evelyn, did you want to add anything, or you're just about to get out of your chair?
Well, for me, it was the best ICU ever. I mean, seriously, I have to say, believe and going to the events and getting your people to the events is huge. Every single time I go to an event, I come away completely changed. My why more focused, of course, by evolving why more focused. But just amazing. I shared on the the Facebook wall there, the group, that, I've been post-itis over here. I really literally have. Some of the ones that I have right now on my wall, if not this, then what? Master the skills. No excuses. Be uncomfortable. Get to executive. And I am a professional cycler.
And did I see a picture of a sticky note in your underwear drawer, or did I imagine?
Yes. Yeah. That one is go to executive, baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I have takeaways from each and every one of the leaders, but maybe I'll save that for our next call, because I took notes after the week. Thank you, Evelyn. And it sounds like you did too. But I have a note, a personal note from each of the top millionaires of what I learned from them, and I'm going to share it with you. But let's go back now to your business and where you are. Okay, so if you're on this call, my guess is you want to generate some income. You want to change your family's life. You want that life-changing income, not just $500, $1,000, but life-changing income. And for you to be able to do that, it can't be about you. It's not about you anymore. Once you hit manager or you're consultant and you're getting your products paid for, we turn our heads down into our team. And with this weekend free enrollment, I want you to make a list. Any name that you can see in your team, if they're not a manager or consultant, reach down to them and say, hey, I'd love to help you get your products paid for. We have free enrollment. Any name that you see, reach down and help that person and paint that vision for them and say, hey, did you know that we have a free membership this week? And just by getting 2 of your friends started, you can make between $150 and $320 or more. Who do you know that wants to do this with you? Well, I don't know anyone. I don't know. And I said, hey, listen, let me help you make an amazing Facebook post. We have the file in Team Empower, guys. It says what to post on Facebook. Use that. Help them make a great post. Reach down and make a list. Who can you help this week? Yes, I want you to enroll people this week. It's free enrollment, right? Follow up with people. But who can you help go consultant this week? Who can you help go manager? I was meeting with Robin last night. She has a girl with 14 active people. I said, you can go executive this week. These people have all been ordering since the summer. You're going to get to executive. And what Lynn Hagedorn on Saturday, Susan Sly started telling everyone that I was going 7-star, and I was not close to it. And I was like, I don't know. That's like, right? And Lynn Hagedorn put her hands on my shoulders and said, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. Of course you're going to do it. And Laura Stevens kind of gave me heck when I kind of was like, well, I'm not really you're doing it. I was like, you guys think I have posture? These chicks were all over me, like a serious, like we were like, I don't know what the expression is, but they were all over me. And they just said, you're doing it. You can do it. Of course you're going to do it. Of course you're going to do it. And so I duplicated that. When I talked to Robin's friend last night, and she goes, well, I'm going to try. We have a hockey tournament. And I said, you're going to do it. You can do this. And she was like, yeah, I can do that. You know, like you wouldn't say to your kid, you keep falling down. Well, you know, you keep falling. So I don't know if you're going to walk. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. That bike that you keep falling off of, I don't think you're ever going to learn how to ride that bike. So let's just keep the training wheels on. You're going to just, really set the bar high. What if I said, Evelyn, you know what? I don't think executives really in your cards. I don't really think you've got what it takes. I think you can get your products paid for, but executive, I don't know. That's like a lot. I don't really think that. Some of you are thinking that about your people, but you're not saying it out loud. Instead, what does that feel like, Evelyn, as I say that?
It fires me up. It makes me want it even more.
But does it kind of piss you off?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do not prejudge people. How do we know? Laura Stevens has 18 executives in 4 years, because she believes everyone's going to go executive. And I have been guilty of this. I have been guilty of prejudging people and saying, I worked my ass off. I don't know if other people will do what I do. But guys, I think I did it the hard way, honestly. I think we've confused you a little bit. I think there's an easier way to do this. And so I'm not prejudging anyone. I see it happening. And when I look at Evelyn, I say, Evelyn, you can do this. Not only can you doing it, you're doing it. We're doing it. It's happening. So I want you to look at your list. Who's raising their hand? Reach out to them, call them up and say, hey, listen, we've got free enrollment this week. I see you have one person already enrolled. Let's get you to consultant this week. Let's get you to manager. All right? And if you find that niggly thought, like, I don't know if I can, or I'm not sure, help them change that thought. Reframe that. As you know, Audrey, that would be important, right? For people to help them change their thought. Or they can borrow your belief. I borrowed Kathy Coover's belief and Susan Sly's when I didn't believe in myself. When I thought that women were going to hate me and people were going to judge me. Those were my two limiting beliefs. And I remember thinking, well, what is Kathy Coover's thoughts? She thinks network marketing women are powerful. Isogenics leaders are powerful. They are fierce and powerful and respected. And so borrow my belief. Borrow Emily and Hayden's belief. Borrow Susan Sly's belief. Whose ever belief, grab onto it and think that for yourself until you believe it. And the results will show up. This business model does work. For some of us, it takes more time than others, but it does work. And as they say, the only way to fail is to quit. So I'm going to challenge everyone not to quit. So I want to hear a couple takeaways in a second from what you guys are taking away from this call. But before we do that, 2 things. Number 1, I want to simplify your life. Okay? So, have you guys seen the call from last week? We talked about Evernote and launching your new people. Because the number 1 thing that holds people back, I believe, is overwhelm. The overwhelmed buyer doesn't buy. The overwhelmed business leader doesn't build. So we're going to keep it really simple. When you're launching your new person, I literally have a launching text. I go into my phone, I copy, and I paste. And I either email it or I text it. And in that, I put it in the Team Empower. It has IsaBody. It has their about auto ship. It has everything that they need. It has a link to the Evernote, how to do your 30-day cleanse. And so launching your people, keeping it simple. So that's one thing that I want to do to you, not do to you, to invite you to do, is take a look at that way to launch your people. So if you're in IsaPulse and you see new people enrolling, let your leader know. Say, hey, congratulations, Lisa, on enrolling your person. Copy and paste this text to them. Edit it with your name, but copy and paste and send this to your new person. Okay? And then what they can do is then they'll duplicate that down. And the other thing I'm going to invite you to do is, where is your next sip and sample? What is the next sip and sample that you're doing? Your Wind Down Wednesday, your party, your next event, your next Super Saturday. We have one here Sunday at a yoga studio, Sunday at 2 in the afternoon at this place called Holy Cow Yoga. Isn't that a good name? It's 2 in the afternoon. We're doing a sip and sample. And then the next week I'm having a business night. I'm having all my leaders to my house, and we're working on that. So getting people to their next event. So number 1, simplifying how you're launching. Number 2, events. And number 3 is your list. So I'm going to have Mary jump out and help me with that. But making your list. Do you have a list that you're working on, and are you reaching out to new people? For me personally, I'm going back to the people that are in my business, that are at the top of my tree, that aren't doing anything. And I'm going to say, hey, listen, I think you owe it to yourself to give me 30 minutes. Let's sit down for 20, 30 minutes. I want to show you what you have sitting here. And are you open to taking another look at this opportunity? Right? So for me, that's where my little angle is going to be. And also, how many managers and consultants can you create this week? So, Mary, what do you want to say about the list?
I have an ongoing list, like many of you. I've been in for 5 years now. So some of the people on my ongoing list, maybe I've followed up with them 2-3 times. So I'm just going to reach out to that list that I continue to add to and just say, hey, I know I've reached out to you in the past, but we've got a great promotion coming on. If now's not the time, then maybe somebody who's looking for more energy to lose weight, give them the list of our solutions. But also ask them if they give you permission to email them every now and again with the promotions that we have going on. So sometimes I will reach out, because I don't want to be bugging people. I also don't want to be wasting time. But it took whoever enrolled Susan Sly, it took 21 times. That was worth the investment. So I just want to ask for permission. Is it okay if I follow up with you in 2 months, 3 months? And that's going to be my focus on my list.
Mm-hmm. You make such a good point. Susan Sly, was it worth 22 follow-ups?
Yeah.
Absolutely, it was. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what are you guys taking away from this call today? What are some lessons? And when we do these takeaways, it really helps other people. So what are some of your takeaways from today? And who wants to, kind of declare what their goal is this week? Does anyone want to jump out and share?
Can I just add to the list?
Yeah.
Isagenixbusiness.com has a great memory jogger for anyone. I mean, you can be new or seasoned. It's still great. And Eric Worre, there's a free printout with his memory jogger, because it's, who do you know? Who are you giving your money to? Your chiropractor, your massage therapist, your nail tech. These people deserve to hear what we have to say. And if you're giving them your money, then they should, they owe it to you just to take a look or to see if they know anyone.
Mm-hmm. And guys, you always have to add to your list. Like, I'm dressed up because I'm going to a networking lunch in a few minutes. And I'm going to be adding lots of names there to my list. Lots of people to People in my community know what I do, but I'm adding more and more every day. So every day you're adding 3 to 5 people to your network, right? Every single day. Awesome. So who wants to jump out? What are you taking away from today? I'd love to hear from you guys.
Hey, it's Wendy.
Hey.
Just really
Wendy.
Okay, sorry.
How come you're always in your car? Just wondering.
Because because I teach a fitness class from 12 to 1, and then I need to rush and clean up all my shit and get on the phone in time for 1:30. So I'm always unshowered. I'm dressed, which is nice, but then I'm like driving to go and sneak some free Wi-Fi. So that's why I'm in my car.
Okay, I love it.
We're good.
Yeah.
Priorities, right? It's just a reminder about focusing on the why. So even though I wasn't at ICU, I just like drank in all of the information that was shared, and just big shout out to Mary and Lisa, because I was messaging them all weekend, and so I just really appreciate all of the feedback and the takeaways that you guys shared. But I loved hearing Lynn Hagedorn say, focus on your why. Don't worry about the how, and don't worry about the what. And I'm not saying men don't do this, but I think as women, we habitually get ready to get ready. And we worry so much about how things are going to go, how are we going to set it up, how are we going to get organized, and I have to do this before I do this, and we sometimes lose focus of the why. And I'm better at it, but I still sometimes get caught up on that. So I think that's just a great reminder. It's simple, it's easy. Focus on your why, don't worry about the how and the what.
I love it. And Wendy, I just want to back up a little bit because of your rank advancement to 1 star. A lot of people said, "What'd you do this week? What did you do?" You messaged people. You know when this started, Wendy? It started July 1st. When you made a decision that you were going to do championship challenge, and you were going to place, and we're going to win. And how many people have you enrolled since July? 38?
35-ish, I think. I can't remember.
Okay. So Wendy, you made a decision that you weren't going to take the summer off. You were going to work in the summer, and you were going to do the work now. And it's 3 months later, and it's showing up in your business. And we gathered some people, and we really focused on them and building them up, right? Making these consultants, building these managers, right? How many managers and 5 consultant bonuses did we make in your team in the last little bit? A bunch, right?
Yeah.
A bunch.
Yeah.
So Wendy went to work on continuing to enroll through the summer. And Mary, do you want to jump out and add to that too? Because that also plays a role in this recent momentum.
Yeah, because like I just went 4-star, but I've been in the business for 5 years. So people see the rank, but they don't see the 5 years of consistent work, plugging in, enrolling people, reaching down into the team. And that's where Wendy comes in play, because Wendy's on my team, but she's not personally enrolled to me. So that's a case of reaching down, see who's enrolling, and helping build those people up, help do 3-way calls, constantly saying, watching her team and watching her tree, saying, hey, you can go for this week, and pouring belief. And that's what I've done all of this week. So it was a build up, yes, from the summer. I moved from Nova Scotia, Canada, drove to Colorado Springs with my family. Like, we moved here, and I still had my highest summer to date because I continued to work and just still plugging into the team and my team. And the rank advancement this week, it was all product. It was a build-up of the 5 years, but it was also the work that happened over the summer showing up now. So the work you put in now is going to show up in the new year. So that's a good reminder for people. It doesn't happen overnight. By Wednesday, I remember Susan Sly saying, if you're going for a rank advancement, so for me, it's 60 cycles to get 4-star. And I've never cycled 60 times. Like, that would be a stretch for me to get 60 cycles. Now, if everyone that ever enrolled in my downline were all ordering, then everybody to me would rank advance, but not everybody orders all the time. So it was reaching out to all those people. And Susan Sly said, halfway through the week, by Wednesday, if you're halfway there. So for me, halfway is 30 cycles. So if I'm halfway by Wednesday, I know I can stretch and get 60 cycles by Sunday. On Wednesday, I was at 35 cycles. So I knew come hell or high water, I was going to make that happen. And I reached down into everybody, like saying, you know, because I had consultants that fell off, but they were still ordering. Maybe they were pirates. Messaging everybody, telling them about the product. We have this. And not everybody's plugged into the group, guys. So not everybody's watching. So it's important to text your people, let them know that we have it was straight product, because not a lot of people signed up last week. Not a lot of orders went through. So it was all people coming back on, you know, cashing in that volume. And as an executive, you get a 10% match. So it's so important to get to paid as, stayed as, because I got 10 cycles alone from my people in my team. And that just put me over the edge. And that got me locked in 4 hours before midnight. And I hit like 4 stars. So it was certainly a group effort, like texting Jason back home saying, do my numbers, calculate, how far away am I? Like to the BV, like how much do I need? And then Erin and I going up and working in her room. Okay, let's comb through the tree. Who's holding volume? Like, and Audrey was there and she saw that excitement, and that's what it took to get there. But it was a build-up over 5 years.
And a build-up through the summer. And I got to echo that too. Like this summer, I've enrolled 20-some people, 25 maybe since July.
Yeah.
Because again, I've had summers where I haven't enrolled anyone in July or, you know, and I just made a decision that I just wasn't going to do that. So now I'm going to ask all of you, where do you want to be in January? Where do you want to be at NYKO? They are coming out with some hero products, and I can't, so I'm in meetings. My mind is being blown. This company will be doubling. We are going to hit $1 billion. We are going into massive momentum. And you can see momentum in our team. And the people who are running are getting the momentum. The people who are watching aren't, which is totally fine. If you want to watch and just get your products paid for, that's fine. But if you want to be part of the momentum in January, we have to start now. So what do you need to think and believe to start now? You can do it. You have what it takes. We have world-class products that people need and want every single day. We have a life-changing income opportunity. Life-changing. Mary would be a substitute freaking teacher in Colorado, making $100 a day, putting her, you know, and now look at where she's at. And many of you have
not
that.
even $100 a day. Substitute teachers don't make a whole lot here.
No? Okay. This is life-changing income, life-changing, but you've got to do the work right now. We can't post and pray and hope that people reach out to us. That is not network marketing. That's called throwing spaghetti against a wall, right? So we're going to let go of posting and praying, and we're going to get into action. And you're going to call people up, and you're going to paint the vision. And you're going to say, hey, look, I have something amazing. I thought of you because you're a go-getter, Tina. You're an athlete, and you're a go-getter. Would you be open to taking a look? And if it's not for you, no problem. If nothing else, I'd love your referrals. And if it's not for you, our products are amazing. They'll be great for your cycling, right? How many people can you reach out to and paint that vision? And my aha moment over the last little while, guys, my two biggest personal builders right now that I've personally enrolled new ones, Debbie Sargent and Laura and Daz Hallett. And I had this aha moment the other day, and I thought, OMG, do you know what? I reached out to them about the business opportunity. And I said, Debbie, and I was at a wedding. I said, Debbie, you owe it to yourself to take a look at this. We were at a wedding, and she's from the UK, but she lives in Canada. And I said, and I had that posture. I had like the posture of a top 5 income earner in our company. I said, you owe it to yourself to take a look at this business because you're from the UK, you're connected, and I need 50 minutes of your time. And guys, I haven't been able to slow that girl down, right? Side note, she's having heart surgery. She's okay, but she's having heart surgery, so she can't go to the Canadian Success Summit in November. So I emailed corporate, and guess what? they're flying her there in January to do the 2-star one. So she can still take advantage of that training. Isn't that amazing? And then the second person was Laura and Daz. And I said, guys, you have to take a look at this business opportunity. It's amazing. You owe it to yourself. Would you be willing to give me a few minutes? And I don't really posture like that in Canada for some God knows reason, but I'll tell you what, I am starting to posture like that. I've always brought in the product users and turned them into business builders, which has been fine. But when was the last time you postured about the business? This business works. It's working for you. And if you took that Isogenics income out of your life right now, where would you be? If you took these products out of your life, where would you be? How many of you kind of makes you feel sick to think about that? I know for me it does. This business has helped so many of you grow. It's helped me grow as a human, a woman, a mother. And there are people waiting and praying for you to reach down and invite them to take a look. So that's your homework, is to make your list, reach out to people, and paint the vision. Did you know that in the next few years, almost every household will have an additional stream of income? Uber, Airbnb, Amazon. Why not Isogenics? People are looking for this. So reach out to them, number one, and let's have fun. All right, who's up for the challenge? I know I am, right? And here's the thing. We are going to be in a huge momentum in January. And so let's get to work now so that the people that you're bringing in now as your customers and your newbies, they're going to be running with us in January. We've got to get our numbers up now. That's like what we did in July and August. And now we're helping these people go. So your job right now is to bring on new people, especially with this free enrollment. Help your people to bring on new people, get them to consultant and manager, and we run to January. I will be at NYKO. I hope to see as many of you there as we can. If we have to jam you in hotel rooms, if we have to, find a way, we're going to find a way to get you there, to get you guys there. Okay? So have an awesome day. And I look forward. There's Laura and Darren right there. And congratulations to Darren on his win with the Masters of Bodybuilding. Did you guys see his pictures?
Amazing.
Unreal. And I'm flying out there so soon. I can't wait. I can't wait to see you guys in England. We're going to have a blast. And have a great night, everybody. Don't forget Tracy O'Malley. If you want to change someone's life, get them on Tracy O'Malley's call tonight. It's going to be epic. We'll post the recording, and we'll meet you guys at the top. We're not stopping anytime soon. Talk to you soon, everyone. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye, everyone.